In the heart of the Balkans lies a mysterious and, to many, shocking tradition: the bride market of the Kalaidzhi Roma in Bulgaria. Each year, families gather, young women dressed in vivid traditional clothing, standing before potential suitors in an event that has captivated and perplexed outsiders for centuries. But why does this market still exist in the 21st century? What holds this seemingly ancient custom in place while the world around it continues to change? For the Kalaidzhi, this is more than matchmaking. It's a ritual of family honor, a way of preserving identity, and a cultural practice deeply woven into their history. To understand its roots, we need to look at the Kalaidzhi people themselves, a subgroup within Bulgaria's Roma community, known for their ancestral metalworking skills, particularly in copper. Historically called tinsmiths, the Kalaidzhi have crafted a distinct identity over generations, one that is not only defined by their skills but also by their adherence to customs that set them apart from other groups, Roma and non-Roma alike. Traditionally, the Kalaidzhi led a mobile lifestyle, traveling across regions to sell their goods, creating a community tightly knit and fiercely independent. However, when communism fell in Bulgaria and economic conditions shifted, the Kalaidzhi faced new hardships: social exclusion, economic instability, and dwindling opportunities. For many, the bride market became more than a custom. It became a crucial means of securing stability and continuity for their daughters and families. Yet, questions linger. Does this tradition, rooted in ideas of virginity, family honor, and community standing, infringe upon the rights and autonomy of the young women involved? Or does it provide a structured way to navigate relationships in a world that can seem hostile to their values? These questions add layers to the story, creating a complex interplay of culture, autonomy, and survival. For the Kalaidzhi, the bride market is not simply about marriage arrangements. It is an entire belief system centered on family values, cultural cohesion, and survival in a world that often misunderstands them. Preparing young women for this market is an intricate process that involves learning domestic skills, observing social etiquette, and, critically, preserving virginity until marriage, a practice considered essential for upholding family dignity and moral integrity. So, what will we uncover about this market, and how do the young women truly feel about it? While older generations hold tightly to the market as a revered tradition, many younger Kalaidzhi find themselves questioning its place in a modern world where freedom and choice are becoming increasingly central. Some feel pride and anticipation, while others experience tension and doubt. This exploration of the Kalaidzhi bride market is a journey into a world where tradition and modernity collide. Through it, we'll meet the faces behind the market: young women, their families, and their suitors, each of whom embodies a piece of the Kalaidzhi legacy. As we step into their lives, consider this: is this market a celebration of heritage or a remnant of a past world? The answer may not be simple, but it lies somewhere between resilience, identity, and the universal quest to hold on to one's roots. For Kalaidzhi families, the journey to the bride market begins long before the day of the event. It's a journey rooted in cultural teachings, family expectations, and intricate rituals that aim to prepare young women for marriage. This preparation is more than just a series of steps. It's a coming-of-age process filled with both pride and pressure, designed to uphold family honor and ensure that these young women are ready to step into a new life. In the Kalaidzhi community, a high value is placed on certain virtues, particularly the purity of young women. Virginity is not just a physical condition, but a symbol of family honor, reflecting a family's standing in the community and the moral upbringing of their children. From a young age, girls are taught the importance of preserving their purity, a value that is reinforced by elders, parents, and other community members. This emphasis on virginity is one of the most significant aspects of a young Kalaidzhi woman's upbringing, shaping not only her self-perception, but also her role within the family and community. Beyond purity, young Kalaidzhi women are prepared through a multifaceted education that blends practical skills with cultural knowledge. This education often begins in childhood and includes lessons in cooking, sewing, and other household management skills considered essential for a future wife and mother. Kalaidzhi families believe that a young woman must be well prepared to take on the responsibilities of marriage and family life, and these skills are seen as foundational to fulfilling those roles. In addition to domestic skills, there is a strong emphasis on social etiquette and cultural customs. Girls are taught how to interact with elders, how to behave respectfully, and how to present themselves in social settings, especially in the bride market. This social training is critical, as the bride market is not merely a gathering, it's a public display of family values, where each young woman represents her family's pride and adherence to tradition. The way a girl presents herself, from her clothing to her demeanor, is a reflection of her family's social standing. As the bride market approaches, families often devote considerable time and resources to preparing their daughters' appearances. Choosing the right attire is a meticulous process, with dresses that are both modest and intricately detailed, reflecting the family's cultural heritage. Bright colors, traditional embroidery, and carefully chosen accessories make each girl stand out, symbolizing both the family's honor and the young woman's readiness for marriage. This preparation is seen as a rite of passage, a final step in her journey toward becoming a bride and a woman in the eyes of her community. However, the process goes beyond physical preparation. Older women in the family, such as mothers and grandmothers, often play a significant role in guiding the young women emotionally and mentally. They share their own experiences, offer advice, and help the girls understand the expectations they will face as wives and daughters-in-law. This emotional preparation can be both comforting and daunting, as young women are introduced to the realities of marriage, the expectations of their new families, and the challenges of transitioning from their parental homes. For some Kalaidzhi girls, this preparation instills a sense of pride and anticipation. The bride market represents a milestone, a moment when they step into adulthood and embrace the responsibilities that come with it. For others, however, the process can be overwhelming. The pressure to conform to community expectations, to embody ideals of purity and obedience, can create an internal conflict, especially for those who may aspire to a different life or feel the pull of modern influences. As the day of the bride market draws near, the atmosphere in Kalaidzhi homes becomes charged with excitement and tension. Families gather to discuss the logistics of the event, to finalize the details of their daughters' appearances, and to rehearse the social customs that will govern their interactions at the market. The young women often feel a mix of emotions: pride in representing their families, nervousness about the unknown, and sometimes even ambivalence about the entire process. The bride market itself is a culmination of this preparation. For the young women, it is a public debut, a moment when they step forward to showcase their upbringing, their family's values, and their readiness for marriage. Each interaction, each conversation with a potential suitor or his family, is a test of her social skills and the teachings she has absorbed. The stakes are high. A successful match not only honors her family, but also affirms her place within the community. But beneath the surface of this tradition lies a complex emotional landscape. For some girls, the bride market is an opportunity, a chance to meet a partner who shares their cultural background and values. For others, however, it can feel like a limitation, a restriction on their autonomy and freedom to choose their own path. This emotional tension, while often unspoken, is felt by many young women who navigate the day with a mix of hope, uncertainty, and quiet resilience. The preparation process, then, is more than just physical grooming or social etiquette. It is a comprehensive education in what it means to be a Kalaidzhi woman. It is an introduction to the values that will guide their lives, a testament to the importance of family and cultural continuity, and a sometimes challenging reminder of the expectations they carry. As they walk into the bride market, they carry not just their own hopes, but the weight of generations, each one balancing personal desires with communal duty. In understanding this preparation, we come closer to understanding the Kalaidzhi themselves. The bride market is not merely an event, it is a symbolic ritual, a powerful statement of identity, and a rite of passage that each young woman must face, bringing her one step closer to fulfilling her role within the Kalaidzhi community. The bride market itself is the climactic moment of the Kalaidzhi marriage tradition. Held annually, often in the spring, the event unfolds in open fields or large public spaces that transform into vibrant gathering places. It's a spectacle of color, emotion, and tradition, bringing together families from across the region in a celebration that combines festivity with serious intentions. From the moment you step into the bride market, the atmosphere is alive with anticipation. Music fills the air, accompanied by the lively hum of conversation and laughter as families greet each other, renew connections, and prepare for the day ahead. For the Kalaidzhi, the bride market is more than a matrimonial fair. It's a social event, an opportunity to celebrate their cultural heritage, strengthen family bonds, and for many, find a partner who shares their values and traditions. As you walk through the market, you'll notice that each family brings their own unique presence. Some families sit together in clusters, offering their daughters to potential suitors who approach with their own families. Others move through the crowd, evaluating potential matches, exchanging greetings, and occasionally catching glimpses of the young women they might consider for their sons. The young women, dressed in their finest traditional attire, stand with their families, embodying the pride and dignity of their lineage. The sight of these young women is striking. Each one is adorned in colorful dresses, often decorated with intricate embroidery that reflects the family's cultural heritage. Their hair is styled with care, sometimes adorned with flowers or jewelry, and they carry themselves with a poised demeanor that reveals the culmination of years of preparation. To onlookers, they are the epitome of Kalaidzhi pride, a representation of family honor and tradition. But behind these appearances, there is a mixture of emotions. For some young women, the bride market is a source of excitement, a chance to meet someone who shares their cultural roots and could be a lifelong companion. For others, the experience is nerve-wracking. The pressure to present oneself as an ideal bride, the fear of judgment, and the weight of family expectations can be overwhelming. They stand not only as individuals, but as reflections of their family's values, carrying the hopes and dreams of those who raised them. As the market day progresses, conversations between families become more focused. Suitors approach the young women, often accompanied by their parents or other relatives who help facilitate introductions. These interactions are brief yet purposeful. A quick exchange of words, a respectful greeting, and a few moments of small talk can be all it takes to set the stage for further discussions. Family members watch closely, observing the young woman's behavior and demeanor, assessing whether she would make a suitable match for their son. Once a suitor expresses genuine interest in a young woman, the negotiations begin. This is where the elders and senior family members play a critical role. The bride price, a traditional financial agreement between families, is discussed, a practice deeply embedded in Kalaidzhi culture. This negotiation process can be lengthy and complex, with discussions covering not only financial matters but also family backgrounds, reputations, and expectations for the future. The bride price itself is symbolic, representing not just the union of two individuals, but the merging of two families and their shared cultural heritage. While some might see this as a form of commodification, for the Kalaidzhi, it is a valued tradition that reinforces the significance of marriage as a familial and community bond. The bride price can vary widely, influenced by factors such as the young woman's beauty, skills, and family status, as well as the financial circumstances of both families. It is not a transaction in the traditional sense, but a mutual agreement that honors the values of both families. As these negotiations unfold, the young women and men continue to meet and interact, sometimes even stepping aside to have more private conversations under the watchful eyes of their families. These moments allow them to gauge their compatibility, exchange words, and get a sense of each other's personalities. For many young people, this is the first time they will have such a close interaction with a potential partner, and it can be both thrilling and intimidating. The bride market is a blend of celebration and solemnity. While the conversations and negotiations are often serious, the surrounding atmosphere remains festive. Traditional music plays, and some families may even break into spontaneous dance, sharing moments of joy amidst the formalities of the matchmaking process. These lively elements add to the sense that the bride market is as much a cultural festival as it is a matrimonial event. Yet, beneath the surface, there are unspoken tensions. For some young women, the bride market represents a lack of choice, a moment when their future is shaped by the expectations of others. They may feel the conflict between their family's wishes and their personal desires, a tension that often remains hidden behind polite smiles and quiet conversation. While some embrace the tradition wholeheartedly, others wrestle with the limitations it imposes, dreaming of a life where they might have more control over their choices. By the end of the day, some families leave with the promise of a marriage agreement, a commitment to honor the union of two families, Others return home with new connections, having met potential suitors, but perhaps not yet finding the right match. The bride market is not just a single event, but part of a longer journey, one that will continue to influence the lives of the young women and men who participated, shaping their futures and preserving the cultural heritage of the Kalaidzhi. For the Kalaidzhi, the bride market is a vital tradition, a way to ensure cultural continuity and social cohesion in a rapidly changing world. It is a day of joy and pride, but also of complex emotions and decisions, where each participant, whether young or old, plays a role in carrying forward the legacy of their people. As the sun sets on the bride market, one is left with a profound sense of the resilience and depth of Kalaidzhi culture, a community that holds tightly to its roots, even as it faces the challenges of the modern world. The Kalaidzhi bride market is not without its share of controversy. While deeply embedded in the cultural heritage of the Kalaidzhi, the practice raises complex ethical and human rights considerations, particularly in regard to autonomy, gender equality, and individual choice. For many outside observers, the tradition appears at odds with contemporary values, sparking debate over the line between cultural preservation and the rights of individuals within a community. One of the core ethical questions surrounding the bride market is the issue of consent. In many societies, marriage is viewed as a personal choice, a decision shaped by mutual affection and personal compatibility. However, in the Kalaidzhi community, marriage is deeply rooted in family honor and community continuity, and the bride market is seen as a structured way to uphold these values. For young women, participation in the market often comes with an expectation to conform to these cultural norms, creating a tension between individual autonomy and communal obligations. While many Kalaidzhi women accept and embrace the tradition, viewing it as an integral part of their cultural identity, there are others who feel restricted by it. For these young women, the lack of choice in the process can lead to feelings of constraint as they grapple with the pressure to uphold family expectations. In some cases, young women have even taken drastic steps to escape these obligations, choosing to leave their families to avoid participation in the bride market. These instances, while not widespread, highlight the diverse perspectives within the Kalaidzhi community and underscore the challenge of balancing cultural values with personal freedoms. The role of the bride price in the Kalaidzhi bride market also brings up ethical concerns. Traditionally, the bride price is seen as a symbolic agreement between two families, a way to formalize the union and acknowledge the value placed on marriage within the community. However, some critics argue that this practice can commodify women, reducing their value to a monetary sum and treating them as objects to be exchanged. For those unfamiliar with the cultural context, the concept of a bride price can seem dehumanizing, perpetuating gender stereotypes and reinforcing patriarchal norms. Yet for the Kalaidzhi, the bride price is much more than a transaction. It is a cultural practice that reinforces family bonds, honors tradition, and respects the social structures within the community. For many Kalaidzhi families, the bride price is not seen as a sale of their daughters, but as a mutually respectful agreement that reflects the seriousness of marriage and the joining of two families. The complexities of this practice illustrate the difficulty of applying universal values to diverse cultural contexts, where traditions carry meanings that extend beyond their surface appearances. Gender equality is another aspect that comes under scrutiny. The bride market, with its focus on young women presenting themselves as potential brides, raises questions about gender roles and expectations within the Kalaidzhi community. While young men also participate in the process, the emphasis on female purity and family honor places unique pressures on young women, shaping their identities and life paths in ways that may feel limiting. For some, the bride market reinforces traditional gender norms, where women are expected to fulfill certain roles within marriage and family life, often at the expense of personal aspirations. The modern emphasis on gender equality and individual rights has put traditional practices like the bride market at a crossroads. As Kalaidzhi youth become increasingly exposed to contemporary ideas and values through education, media, and social interactions, some young women and men begin to question the relevance of these customs. For those who desire greater independence or wish to pursue their own paths, the bride market can feel like an obstacle, a tradition that holds them back from fully embracing modern notions of freedom and self-determination. However, It's essential to approach these critiques with cultural sensitivity. While the bride market may seem restrictive through a modern lens, it is also a practice that the Kalaidzhi view as a key part of their identity, a way to maintain social cohesion and family honor. For many within the community, the bride market is cherished not because it restricts women, but because it preserves a way of life that they hold dear. The Kalaidzhi view it as a tradition that sustains their community, ensuring that younger generations uphold the values and responsibilities that have defined their people for centuries. This brings us to the broader question of cultural preservation versus human rights. How can a community maintain its identity in a world that increasingly emphasizes individual freedoms? And who has the authority to determine which traditions are acceptable and which are not? For the Kalaidzhi, the bride market is a bridge to the past, a way of honoring their ancestors and reinforcing the bonds that tie their community together. Yet, as global values shift, the Kalaidzhi find themselves facing external pressure to adapt or abandon traditions that others may view as outdated or even harmful. At the heart of this debate is the idea of cultural relativity, the recognition that values and practices should be understood within their cultural context. While some outsiders may see the bride market as a violation of human rights, many Kalaidzhi view it as an essential component of their identity. For them, the market represents not a denial of freedom, but a celebration of cultural continuity and family unity. As we examine these ethical considerations, it's important to remember that cultural practices are rarely simple, and the meaning they hold within a community is often nuanced and deeply personal. In the end, the Kalaidzhi bride market highlights the challenges faced by traditional societies navigating a modern world. It raises questions about how communities can preserve their unique identities while adapting to contemporary standards of human rights and gender equality. For the young women and men of the Kalaidzhi, this is a journey marked by both pride and conflict, as they balance their cultural heritage with the pressures of a changing world. As we reflect on the complexities of the bride market, we are reminded that cultural practices are not static. They evolve with each generation, shaped by the interplay between tradition and modernity. The bride market of the Kalaidzhi Roma is a tradition unlike any other, a vibrant, deeply rooted practice that offers a window into a world where family honor, cultural heritage, and community identity converge. It is a tradition that speaks to the resilience of a people who have found ways to preserve their customs and values, even as the world around them shifts and changes. For the Kalaidzhi, the bride market is not just an event. It is a reaffirmation of who they are and where they come from. Yet, as with many traditional practices, the bride market stands at a crossroads. With each passing year, younger generations face the challenge of balancing their community's cultural legacy with the broader societal shifts they encounter. Some view the bride market with pride, embracing it as a cherished rite of passage, while others question its relevance, seeking greater autonomy and self-expression. This divergence reflects a universal struggle: how to honor one's roots while embracing the freedom to forge one's own path. In a rapidly globalizing world, the Kalaidzhi bride market reminds us of the importance of cultural diversity and the complexities inherent in sustaining traditional practices. It raises difficult questions. How do communities maintain their distinct identities in a world that often encourages assimilation? And to what extent should individuals be expected to uphold customs that may feel at odds with modern ideals of freedom and equality? The answers to these questions are not simple, nor are they uniform. As the Kalaidzhi continue to grapple with the challenges of preserving their culture in the face of modernity, they highlight the resilience required to sustain unique identities in a world that is increasingly interconnected. For outsiders, understanding and respecting these traditions, without imposing external judgments, is an essential part of appreciating the diversity of the human experience. In the end, the Kalaidzhi bride market is a testament to the power of tradition, a reminder of the enduring bonds that connect individuals to their communities and histories. It is a practice that may continue to evolve, reflecting the changing values and aspirations of those who participate in it. Whether the bride market remains as it is or adapts to new ideals, it serves as a powerful example of the ways in which cultures navigate the delicate balance between honoring the past and embracing the future. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the heart of Kalaidzhi culture. As we step back from the market and reflect on its significance, we are reminded that every tradition, no matter how old, is a living narrative, one that evolves with the people who keep it alive.